Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Master Detective Archives Reign Code. In the last episode we took on the help of the greediest of all Master Detectives, Halara Nightmare, all in the hopes that she can help us solve the mystery behind the Nailman murders, all in a desperate attempt to bring the real culprit to light and save the framed victim of this case, the clockmaker of Kanai Ward, Yakou, before he's made an example of publicly by the peacekeepers, with time now running out not only for the clockmaker, but now for our leader Yakou. Our investigation now truly begins into the past cases of the Nailman and what truly happened behind the scenes to make the urban legend become a true and real entity who carries out the will of the people. The only thing is, who is the true culprit, and is it someone we've met up to this point? Only one way to truly tell, and that is with time. So with that being said, honestly, we jump back in to the Nailman murders, since, let's be honest here, we have quite a lot to still figure out with everything going on. And honestly, with everything that we've seen so far, let's be honest here, there is definitely going to be some crazy things that we'll definitely be seeing here in time. But honestly, with everything we have seen, yeah, definitely quite a lot of stuff. And also I did notice that we do actually have some profile updates, so we should probably go through these before we do anything else, since, let's be honest here, would be good to know a little bit more about the people that we're investigating, and also a little bit more about the Madoratsu Corporation and their seemingly leaders here. But here we go, starting with Seth Burroughs, person that will lock up Yakou if we don't finish this case in time. So with that being said, let's see what's going on. So, looks like no talents other than chess, which is a talent, to be fair. But honestly, Section Chief of a Madoratsu Corporation Peacekeepers Investigations Team A. Mumbling, unhealthy-looking man with a decidedly nervous demeanor. His words are polite, but an underling that makes a mistake is brutally rebuked. He habitually speaks through a megaphone to make up for his feeble voice. Which is true, we've seen that firsthand. And now we got everyone we met in the last episode, the priest, the servant, the nun, and the worshipper. No names for any of these people, but I don't know if that's going to be important later. But here we go with the priest first. And Talon is making speeches, apparently. Interesting. A priest at a church in Kanai Ward, brimming with paternal affection, he feels it is his calling to help all those in need. He is popular among the worshippers for his gentle and thoughtful nature, and many people come to him to ask for advice. That is definitely seeming to be the case. This guy, I thought personally, was kind of a strange person, but is he the culprit? Who knows? But he definitely makes me feel like he might be, based on what we've seen with him. But knowledge of the occult is his talent. A pious worshipper at a church in Kanai Ward, an occult enthusiast, he chases after all kinds of unusual phenomenon and urban legends. His obsession with the topic can sometimes put his life in danger, which would make sense with him trying to literally try and meet the Nailman. So, yeah, I would definitely say so. And then we got the nun, which was anything but a nun when we met her. But her talent is price negotiations, apparently. A nun at a church in Kanai Ward, often abusive, unwilling to listen to others, her personality is far from the image of a typical nun. Her father works in an upper management in a Madoratsu corporation, something she occasionally leverages to full effect. Craftiness aside, she is fairly diligent with her work. Is it actually true that she has a father that works at the Madoratsu Corporation? Because I felt like she just said that to get us away from her. But apparently we do believe that. And then we also got the servant. I thought he was the nicest out of all the church people. But his talent is video games. Makes me like him a little bit more in anime figures. But honestly, he seems like the nicest out of everyone. A man who does odd jobs at the church in Kanai Ward, his colleague. The nun bosses him around on a daily basis, He's terrible at socializing, sometimes appearing suspicious when talking with others. While he's concerned about his weight, he's too weak-willed to do anything about it. Oh, poor dude. And then we also have the victim and his son at the current moment. Yakou, fixing clocks and watches is his talent, also known as the watchmaker. The father of the boy Yuma met in Kanai Ward. He runs a watch shop and takes pride in his work. His skill and high standards of professionalism has earned him the trust of the local residents. He loves his son dearly and hopes the boy will take over the family business one day. And honestly, if we can save him, well, let's be honest here, he definitely might do that. But for the boy himself, foot racing is his talent. Really? Running. Okay, I guess so. A boy Yuma met in Kanai Ward, he respects and cares for his father, a watchmaker above anyone else. Also quite fond of baseball, he spends almost all of his free time practicing and playing. He is desperately trying to find a way to rescue his father, who has been arrested for the Nailman murders. And the baseball definitely makes sense, because he did try to give us his prize baseball, after all. But honestly, with that being said, the updates between these three I don't think are going to be super important. I think this is basically... No, nothing's updated here. Really? Okay. Don't know what's updated there, because I'm pretty sure we've read that before, but honestly, don't think there's much of an update in here other than just general stuff, I think. Yeah, that seems like stuff we already read before. Okay. Don't know why that says updated, but yeah, with everything we've seen so far, definitely with everything we have seen, the case is definitely starting to materialize, but now, honestly, it's time to go see what's going on with, well, everything to go with the past murders of the Nailman, since, honestly, that is our next step. And Halara definitely wants to go here.
But it's sealed off. They've left it like this for 6 months?
Apparently so.
No doubt they've shirked their obligation to clean up. I suspect the peacekeepers are lazy to a fault.
I would say that honestly too, with how they've been doing their cases from what we've seen. Well, it looks like we're definitely heading on in. And honestly, kind of curious on how this place is going to look with the fact that it's been closed for 6 months.
Let's go inside.
Okay, well, inside we go. Kind of curious on what her ability is, because it's gotta be something pretty good if she feels like she can actually solve past crimes, even though they've already been cleaned up. It must be really good, because she seems like she's more than capable of doing, like, these kinds of criminal cases, honestly. The only thing is looks like the power and everything's still going good here. But yeah, there's the Nailman case right there. We can see obvious remnants of it. Well, let's ask Halara what she thinks.
The peacekeepers may be sloppy, but even they wouldn't leave the crime scene completely untouched.
I guess, yeah, that would make sense.
The body was probably found around here. The victim's name is Suguma Iho.
But why was he targeted?
An old man who owned this place. His reputation left much to be desired.
And that would make more sense why it's still closed, but why is the power still on? That's the real weird thing here. And one of the actual slot machines is actually turned off, but it looks like there might be some kind of like blood or something going on there. Or what you could call despair from Danganronpa, because let's be honest, blood in Danganronpa was pink, and that's an obvious pink color right there. But that is also a, you know, like something that's kind of like a common thing with the games for Spike Chunsoft when it comes to Danganronpa-like games and games that are obviously spiritual successors of them. But it is pretty cool. It's a nice little, you know, like, thing other than just having red blood everywhere. But honestly, definitely interesting though, nonetheless.
This place was an illegal casino operating at obscene rates. Even the cheating was rampant.
Which we were told via the loading screens for this place, whenever they started popping up.
You sure know a lot about it. When did you...
Well, she did say she was looking into the case while we were dealing with the clock tower.
I told you, I gathered my own intel while waiting at the cafe.
Although I'm not sure how you did that in that much time.
The real interesting note is that this crime scene also had no way in or out.
Because of the fact that there's literally only one door.
At the time of discovery, the door was locked from the inside.
I don't know how you would lock this type of door either.
There aren't any windows either, which is expected given that it's underground.
Which is true.
There are air vents, but they have secure covers barring entry.
I don't even know if you could even crawl through one of those. It seems a little small.
Besides, no one's able to reach that high up.
That's not entirely always the case with some stuff. But I highly doubt somebody would crawl through a vent that small. That seems really, really small.
No windows. The only way in and out is the door that was locked from the inside?
Apparently so.
It's a locked room mystery! Locked room mystery!
You really like your locked room mysteries, because you acted that with the same way that with the first one in the clock tower.
But there's not much more to investigate. We don't know what state the body was in at the time of discovery.
Which is true, but Halara seems very adamant about it. So she said everything should be fine, with everything we heard in the last episode, so honestly, I'm kind of curious on how this is going to work.
I told you not to worry. The conditions have all been met.
The conditions have all been met, you say?
Conditions?
Okay, what do you mean by
Don't tell me
that?
you've forgotten I'm a master detective.
Which I knew that. I'm just curious what your forte really is.
Oh, your forte.
Apparently, it's gotta be something good.
My forte is post-cognition. The power to see the past.
Ooh, that is actually pretty cool, actually. And would make sense why she's, I guess the way she is, I guess. Because, she could just see the past and the present. She doesn't need to try as hard to solve a case, honestly. Because you could literally pull up different cases and, after, going through a couple cases and seeing everything, honestly, you would easily be able to solve a case that way, honestly. That is pretty cool, honestly.
However, it can only be used at murder scenes.
Fair enough. Makes a lot of sense, though.
To be precise, I can only see how the crime scene appeared at the time it was first discovered.
Okay. Interesting.
Another way to describe it would be as crime scene limited psychometry, if that's easier to understand.
Psychometry. Interesting name. Okay, so only when the crime scene was found. So nothing beforehand. Makes sense.
That's amazing! It's like the perfect forte for a detective!
It really is, honestly. It's a lot better than what we think we have for our ability, which seems to be like a sensor for telling other people's abilities and seeing it. But honestly, we do have the mystery labyrinth, although it's not a forte, it's still something.
My power allows me to see the moment the first witness saw the crime scene.
Really?
Not the culprit, not the victim, but how it appeared when a third party first entered.
So when the worshipper saw it, because he said he was the first one for every single crime to see it.
The memory or perception of the witness does not affect my post-cognition. What I see is what actually was there.
Which is honestly going to be good news if we need to find any kind of new information on the current case.
When it comes to my power, the witness is not a camera or a recording device, but rather a trigger.
Okay.
Perhaps the best way to think of it is like a bookmark stuck between the pages of when the body was found.
Huh. Okay, if you say so.
Well, there's no point in wasting more time explaining. Let's have a look.
Yeah, let's definitely have a look. I'm quite curious.
Power sure is convenient. Explains all the confidence.
Yeah, it definitely does. Although the money-hungry part, I'm not sure about where that comes from.
It's similar to the mystery labyrinth, where I recreate the crime scene in your mind.
It actually, yeah, kind of. But the only thing is how exactly will it work, though? Because although, yes, we can see the abilities from what we've known, can we see the whole thing? That's kind of what I'm curious about.
But now it's done in the real world.
Well, yeah, and safe.
Although, it is limited to both the crime scene and the moment of first discovery.
Which, can be very limiting depending on how you see it.
But still, it's amazing.
It is pretty amazing though.
On the other hand, my master's got nothing. Why is life so unfair? Now I'm angry!
Thanks, Shinigami. Nice to rub it in.
Master, can I nibble on your heart to help cheer me up?
No. Definitely not.
Of course not.
And if, what you've been saying recently about, our life force going quickly by, the fact that, anything we do with your powers slowly drains our life force, honestly, yeah, stay far away from our heart, please. But here we go. About Halara's forte. Halara's forte is post-cognition. It shows the crime scene as it was when it was first discovered. Which is a pretty cool ability. And I was really curious on what her ability would be. What Shinigami got?
Post-cognition.
Yep, post-cognition indeed.
I wonder what it's like. All I can do is wait for the report.
I guess so.
Well, do I have some good news for you?
What's that, Shinigami?
What is it this time?
Yeah, what is it?
Master, try to remember. Did you feel anything back on the Amaterasu Express?
Oh, it looks like we might actually finally be figuring out what that ability we saw back in the Amaterasu Expresses, maybe. Because, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's an ability of some sort. Although, what the name of it is, or how limited the capabilities of it is, I don't know, but I really do feel like that was his actual forte. Although, is it gonna be something we can really use? Who knows? But it's something at least.
You know, when the other master detectives use their powers?
Okay, and that's seeming to confirm my suspicions.
This sensation. I felt it when Aphex used his powers.
Yep, we saw the heartbeats of everybody. Just like how Pushi could see this, we could see it as well.
Somehow, it feels like I can hear what Poochie hears.
Yep, definitely that was the case.
Right. I can sense whenever a master detective uses their power.
Which is true.
Yes, that's it! Maybe your coalescence will work now.
Coalescence. So that's the name of it. Ooh. Well, thanks Shinigami for at least cheering our guy up here, because he really felt like he had nothing. So, that's nice. But coalescence, you say?
Simply put, it's the ability to share someone else's power.
Wait a minute, that actually sounds really good. Wait, sharing somebody's power means we're basically like the ultimate of master detectives when it comes to power-wise. That's pretty cool. Although, how exactly do we share someone's power, exactly?
On the train, you only felt the resonance of other people's fortes, but its true function is to share their powers.
Really? Okay, so not only can we fuel their powers and see them, but we can also share them. That's pretty cool. Okay, I was not actually expecting that, honestly. I thought we could just see them.
Wait, then that means I can also see the scene in the past with Halara?
Apparently, although she's using her power right now, but I don't see anything. So it looks like there's more steps to this.
That's amazing! Is this your ability, Shinigami?
That's a good question. Is it Shinigami letting us do that?
Something like that. But there are conditions for it to activate.
Something like that. That sounds like something with the fact that because we don't have our memories, you can't give us that information, because it must have been our ability. Okay, well at least we got something.
You must kiss someone to share their ability.
Oh. So, like Starfire when she kisses people to get to learn their language from Teen Titans, basically. Okay then. Interesting.
What? Kiss Halara?
I highly doubt she let us do that.
Ha! I lied.
Okay, good. I was about to say.
Oh, did you blush? Did you really want to? You still don't know if Halara's a boy or a girl.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter, to be fair. But, honestly, I think he's more blushing by the fact that, one, it's embarrassing, and two, she's kinda scary.
Oh, quit messing around and tell me how it works.
Yeah, how does it actually work?
You need permission from the person sharing the ability first. Then, you must hold hands while the ability is active.
Okay, so permission first, then hold hands. Got it.
That's it.
Okay then. Interesting.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, we could definitely try. Although, does she want us anywhere near her? Honestly, who knows? But, looks like we can't look into the broken... Oh wait, it's not, it doesn't have the pink paint, or the pink blood on it anymore. That's weird. So it was only in there during the actual cutscene walking in here. But everything else seems like a big no there. Anything else we can look at? Looks like the door, it's basically just Halara then. Okay, let's ask Halara.
Halara.
Yeah, Halara, we learned something new that you might be able to help us with. Looks like she doesn't want to talk right now.
Halara?
Hey, you there?
I need you to be quiet. I'm concentrating.
I'm sorry about that then.
Sorry, but there's something I want to ask.
Yeah, can we ask you something? Oh, speeding through everything.
Coalescence. Hold hands. You and me.
She seems a little shocked by that one.
Yes, that way I'll be able to see the past too. I think.
It is a definite think, but I think it's definitely going to work based on Shinigami letting us know for sure about that.
My sources made no mention of such an ability. In fact, you're just a trainee.
We have no information written down, like we learned from Yakou. Because we're just a trainee, they don't have that kind of information or power to put that stuff in yet. So, because we're not a master detective, well, our information is private. But makes sense that you don't have the ability to learn that, since we learned that back in the, well, what was the prologue chapter when we first met Yakou and the rest of the Nocturnal Agency. But, well, yeah, that's the case.
Yeah, but I just remembered I had it.
Not really remembered, but kinda.
Anyway, we don't have much time. Let's try it.
Yeah, let's try out this ability of
I
yours.
have no intention of getting friendly with you.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. But, with the fact that we paid you 5.5 million, you might as well at this point.
Oh, it's not like that.
Apparently not.
I despise you.
Oh. Well, that's not really nice of you.
Huh?
Why do you despise us?
Just the thought of holding your hand makes my skin crawl.
I'm sorry about that.
I didn't know you hated me so much.
Yeah, apparently she really hates us, jeez. I'm sorry, I guess.
Let me be clear. I don't just hate you in particular.
Oh. What do you mean by that?
I despise all of humanity equally.
Okay. I guess that's why she's money hungry then.
I don't trust anyone. Except the dead.
You trust the dead? How do you trust them?
I had a feeling. Halara must be a demon straight from hell.
Halara. I still like that little nickname Shinigami's given her.
Then why did you choose to help me with the investigation?
We paid her, and that's how she gives any type of trust is via the money in our worth, basically, is how she put it.
As I told you in the beginning, I always work sincerely for the payment I receive. As long as you promise payment, I will promise my utmost efforts as a professional.
Although you're not really professional, to be fair.
Then please,
With
hold
how you
my
act.
hand. It's necessary for the investigation.
Yeah, I think.
You can add this to my bill if you want. You'll agree then, right?
Maybe. Looks like she's thinking about it.
Fine. If it's what I must do as a detective, then I have no choice but to agree.
Okay, well that works. Well, let's see how this power works then. Although she seems really reluctant to do this. Okay, it seems to be working. Although, to what effect is the real question here? Ooh, okay, yeah, things are definitely changing now.
Huh?
And yeah, this definitely looks like a crime scene now. Okay, cool. Cool ability. Although, are we stuck to holding her hands though? Is a real question.
Looks different than a moment ago.
Definitely does.
Incredible. So this is post-cognition.
It's a strange ability, but it is pretty cool. And we can see the before and the currents, which is cool. Where currently the table is standing where it was during the crime scene, which is pretty cool. Huh. Interesting though.
Can you really see it?
Yep, I definitely can.
So your coalescence is real. I didn't expect you to already have your own forte.
Well, nobody really expects much from us anyways. We are the appetizer detective, as Shinigami put it. But, honestly, we are definitely more capable than we've seen, for sure. From the first case we solved, and honestly, the second case seems to be going pretty smoothly, honestly, so far. Although we don't have a culprit yet, we did find a lot of information already for things that will definitely add up later.
Well, this does save me the trouble of reporting it back to you, but it's quite inconvenient to keep our hands joined.
With the fact that you hate us. So, yeah, I can see that.
Very well. Go ahead and lead the investigation.
Okay, well, let's do this then.
Me?
Oh, she did say that we were gonna have to solve it on our own, even though she was gonna be our assistant, pretty much. With $5.5 million for her, well, not dollars, but yen, which I think is just yen. But that still is a lot of money with the fact that she said it was for a luxury car. So, yeah, definitely not gonna be an easy job whatsoever.
If you can see what I see, that would be for the best. I'm only acting as your assistant, after all.
Which is fair, although I still don't think we should have to pay you that much.
This is quite the bizarre crime scene.
It definitely is, based on what we could see, for all the chairs being flipped over in seemingly the actual billiard, or well, not billiard table. I think that's more of a, trying to think of the exact name for that casino game. I believe it's I think it's the one that we saw in Persona 5 with the, you put the ball in the red or the black, or you try and guess what number it is, specifically, and then you win, but it has to land on either the number you choose or the red or the blacks like you voted for at the beginning. I think it's that game, but I'm not entirely sure because we didn't get a good enough look at it. But it definitely is interesting.
But unusual crime scenes are expected when you work for the WDO.
Which is true, from what we saw on the Nadaratsu Corporation's Little Express.
Now, let's see what you're capable of.
Okay, well, let's see what we're capable of. She seems pretty happy about that statement, though. Huh. Not expect a smile out of you on that little answer there. Huh. Interesting. Weird that she acts like she hates us at some points and then she likes us at some points. But, oh no, that's a different game. Although there's the roulette that I'm talking about over here. Okay, so it is the exact game that I was thinking of. It's just I never saw the other part of the table for one of those games. I thought you just said what you wanted. But I forgot that it's a game that you sit around with little, shuffleboards, like mini shuffleboards. But, interesting, case here. First, let's check around the entrance. That might be a good idea. And we can go right into our post-cognition. Let's look at the door and the seat in the real world first.
What does that mean?
When the body was discovered, this door was locked from the inside. There's no other way in or out of the room.
In other words, it's a locked room mystery. Locked room mystery. Things are heating up.
I guess so. What about the counter seat, though?
That's...
The chairs are lined up neatly. Did someone rearrange the chairs after the incidents?
Well,
either the peacekeepers did so, or the staff here did. Either way, it's not something to worry about.
Huh, true. I'll check someplace else then. Interesting. But what about the post-cognition version? Press LR instead. Well, let's see here. But it does look like we do need to actually hold someone's hand to actually use the ability. So, entrance door, here we come.
The lock is broken.
It seems to be. But we found that with the other place, to be fair, too, because the door was kicked open. But, so that would make sense why the lock is broken.
Maybe someone broke it and forced their way in, like at the clock tower.
That would make sense.
But from the looks of it, there's no sign of the lock or door being tampered with.
That's weird. It wasn't tampered with. That's an interesting idea about that. What about the counter table? The chair is knocked over. Could this be evidence of a struggle between the victim and the culprits?
I don't know about that. The culprit could have knocked it over, on purpose to throw off the investigation. There's not much we can get from it, other than the fact it's knocked over. Let's check elsewhere.
Okay. Oh, right. Huh. Yeah, looks like nothing else over here. See if there's anything else we can find in the post-cognition world. Looks like that is it. Okay, so back to here. Look around real quick. Nope, nothing else. Okay. Good to know. Let's check the counter here then. So we got a glass on the counter, we have the slot machine, and it looks like that is pretty much it here. So what about the glasses on the counter? Also, that guy in that picture looks like Phoenix Wright to me. I don't know why, but it looks like him. There's a glass on the counter. It has a very thin layer of dust, so it could have been there since the incident. Maybe.
A key was in the glass at the time the body was discovered. If you want to investigate, we should use post-cognition.
Right, got it. Well, I want to look around outside the post-cognition world too, to be fair. Since this will also give us information. There's a slot machine here. It's been untouched for a while, so it's covered in dust. As far as I can tell, there are no traces that could have been related to the crime.
Well,
If you're curious about the scene at the time of the discovery of the corpse, use post-cognition.
Oh, right, I'll give it a try. But I want to see things outside of the post-cognition world, to be fair, too. But let's see what's going on in the past. Is the same slot machine broken? It seems like it is. Okay. Well, what about the glass on the counter now? Oh. Yeah, there is a key in there.
There's a key in the glass. Is it the key to the room?
It's a literal solution key. Huh. Interesting.
seems like it.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like it.
By the way, being an illegal casino, the security was extremely tight. There's only one master key.
Which would make sense with it being an illegal casino.
It's also a special key that can't be duplicated.
Really? How's that?
If it was thrown in from outside the vent, it wouldn't be inside the glass.
I guess, yeah, that wouldn't really make sense.
So this is definitely another locked room mystery! Hooray! I'm so glad I met you!
Huh. Okay, then. Also, that crime scene behind us doesn't look very friendly whatsoever. It looks pretty scary looking. But the fact that, it looks like all the blood's been drained out of him. Although that could just be the coloring with the how her power works, because it does look like it makes things black and white somewhat. Huh. Interesting, though. There was a key inside the glass on the counter, the secret club door key. But yeah, a literal solution key. Interesting. What about the slot machine, though? The slot machine's spotless. Looks like it was well taken care of. There's nothing here of interest.
Yeah.
Seems that way. Let's check someplace else.
Oh, right. Yeah, it looks like nothing to do with the actual casino here when it comes to the actual games. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing around the table here, though, to be fair. But we do have just a roulette table, seemingly. There's a roulette table. It probably hasn't been used since the incident, as it's covered in dust. Looks pretty normal to me, but if you say so. There doesn't appear to be any clues on top of the roulette table.
There's nothing underneath either. We should check someplace else.
Right, let's do that. Well, first things first, let's definitely double check. Looks like a big no on anything else here. But we do have the post-cognition. I need to remember to press the right button, though. Keep hitting LR. But, we do got some nails on the actual table for the doll here. But, is that it? There's a doll nailed to the roulette table, too.
I see.
There's also a doll nailed here, right in the middle of the roulette wheel.
The doll itself seems to be the same as the others. There doesn't seem to be anything noteworthy.
That is in and of itself is sufficient knowledge. Let's check someplace else.
Okay, what about the roulette wheel? Was this moved during the incident? As far as I can tell, it doesn't seem to be related to the case.
Yeah. Let's check another place.
It has to do something with the fact that there's, dolls nailed to it, but what exactly is it? Who knows? But, let's definitely get out of this area, since it looks like we're pretty much done here, other than the final piece here.
I have to say, post-cognition is amazing. You can see the exact crime scene the moment the body was first discovered.
Which seems to definitely be true there, which is cool.
Were you born with this power?
I don't think so.
My forte is no ordinary superpower. It is a highly refined technique heightened through training.
Heightened from training?
So you weren't
How do you
able
train
to
it?
use it in the beginning?
Well, obviously, with the fact that you have to learn how to use your forte.
I could. But initially, it was just ordinary psychometry.
Psychometry?
Since I was young, I would often get sudden glimpses of the past, as if I was experiencing a flashback.
But not a crime scene like you say now. That's interesting. Really? That's pretty cool, though, being able to see the past. That's definitely interesting.
After a while, touching people or objects resulted in visions flowing through my mind.
Huh, really?
I only learned it was a form of psychometry after growing older.
That's interesting, though. So it's not just limited to crime scenes, like she says. Because, obviously, she doesn't want to be around anybody based on how she was acting when we told her we had to hold hands and everything. But it's interesting, though, nonetheless.
In the WDO, simply having psychometry as a trainee grants you preferential treatment. But I was not satisfied.
Huh, preferential treatment.
I believe I could use this ability more effectively as a detective. And through painstaking effort and training.
Huh, really?
I gained this ability in 3 days.
3 days? Jeez, okay then.
3 days?
That's pretty quick. So, yeah, she definitely honed it. She said painstakingly, so a lot of rigorous training, so she probably stayed up for 3 days, honestly.
As I told you earlier, this ability can only see when a corpse is first discovered.
Huh. So you had to actually be on the case while learning it. Okay, interesting.
It can't be used from the culprit or victim's viewpoint. It is only when a third party first witnesses a crime scene.
Which is kind of limited, but not severely limited.
There are conditions for my post-cognition to activate.
Conditions, which we've met all of them. Seemingly.
First, I must be standing at the crime scene. This condition is absolutely required.
Makes sense.
I must also know the victim's name and face. That's why prior research is crucial.
Which also makes sense.
Lastly, post-cognition is only effective in a 10-meter radius around the body.
Only 10 meters, that's pretty short, actually. Okay, but 10 meters is enough for a room. A normal room. So, if it was a bigger place, you need to be completely, walking around the entire place with the ability. Okay, interesting.
At this time, I can only see the crime scene and the victim. I can't see any living things that were at the scene.
Which is a little limiting, but that's not too bad.
So if someone was hiding in the room, you wouldn't be able to see them?
Yeah, definitely. Not.
No. My ability isn't so good at detecting people.
Which is unfortunate.
Still, this is incredibly effective in investigating murder cases.
It definitely seems to be, for sure.
Feel free to summon me whenever you need my help.
Welcome. We'll definitely do that
Of
then.
course, I don't work for cheap.
You said that before. Yeah, you definitely don't.
You're not gonna change your mind on that, I guess.
Nope, not whatsoever. Unless we can change your mind at the end of this case, but I highly doubt it. Okay, well, good information. What about the actual corpse and the vent here? That's one thing I'm really curious about. There's a vent here. The four corners of the cover are screwed down, so I don't think it will open. I doubt the cover can be opened when it's like this.
But
It's too early to conclude. There's no useful information. Compare it with what was seen in post-cognition.
Right. I'll give it a try. Okay, post-cognition then. And let's see what we got in the post-cognition world. Well, there's the crime scene itself.
Body. I see a body.
Definitely do.
The murder scene through Halara's eyes is completely silent.
Yeah, it definitely is pretty silent here.
There are dolls nailed to the walls and floor, and a corpse pinned down with nails in a similar fashion.
So, as long as the person's dead, she can sense them, though. So, that definitely, at least somewhat, is able to sense people and living objects, but, well, he's no longer living, so we definitely know he's dead, for sure.
This all feels like a dream. It doesn't seem real.
But I see the marking that the one girl had as well, so both had their necks broken in similar fashion.
There are abnormal decorations all around the crime scene. And it's so quiet.
Yeah, it's definitely creepy. But definitely a little different from the original scene that we saw. Let's look at the vent in this area. I'm kind of curious on that.
Hey, this vent. The cover is in place, but it hasn't been screwed on.
That's interesting. So maybe somebody did go through the vent.
Which means it could be easily removed, right?
Apparently so.
what are you doing?
I guess we're gonna try and pull it off, but I highly doubt that would work in this ability.
You can't touch what you see in post-cognition, even if you happen to be 3 meters tall.
Really? Okay.
Oh, I see. But I think this will be an important clue.
Maybe. With the fact that it doesn't have any screws on it, it definitely is very interesting.
The vent is about 40 by 30 centimeters. A thin adult can probably pass through.
Okay, so somebody thin. So someone kind of lanky-ish might be able to go in there. With the fact that well, obviously there's no ladder in here, so they gotta be tall to be able to reach up to that point. But they have to be strong enough to pull themselves up as well. Okay, interesting. Huh. At the time of the murder, the cover was not screwed down. A slender adult might be able to get through it. The secret club vent. There's another seemingly exit point in this locked room mystery, just like the clock tower. But we also have the doll on the wall.
I knew it.
Sure enough, the secret club has dolls nailed to the wall too.
Yeah.
That must be the nailman's calling card.
It definitely is. They're nailed into the wall seemingly at random, facing all directions. I can't find a pattern. There's nothing that can be connected to the culprit. Let's try checking someplace else. Yeah, definitely nothing when it comes to the culprit here. But we do have the actual corpse itself.
It's a man's corpse. He's probably around 60 years old.
Yeah, that might be the case.
His body is pinned against the wall with countless nails.
Yeah, countless indeed.
There isn't much bleeding, so the nails must have been hammered in after he died.
The only thing that makes me concerned about that is the blood that's coming out of the nails in the fashion that it is. It seems like he really was fresh, if anything, which is kind of scary.
You're starting to get the hang of this. Not too shabby.
Thanks, Shinigami, although I don't think that's a good thing.
Oh, there are marks on him. Signs that he was strangled.
Yeah, just like the girl we found in the clock tower.
The vertical scratch marks were probably made when he resisted.
Which would make sense.
The most basic of basic observations. Well, at least you noticed.
Which is definitely good that we noticed it.
It's thanks to everything I taught you at the clock tower. Such an awesome mentor.
kind of mentored us, but it's not really entirely you. We kind of learned how to do this based on the Amaterasu Express, but fair enough.
This situation is identical to the murder at the clock tower.
It definitely is, although this time it's on a wall instead of the floor.
The culprit first strangled the victim to death, and then decorated the room afterward.
So he had to have enough time to actually decorate the room, and then escape.
But why?
It's definitely a good question there, Yuma, but why indeed? There we go. Victim's cause of death. There were signs of strangulation and vertical scratch marks on the victim's neck. The scratch marks is what I'm really curious about, because I feel like the scratch marks might be something outside of just the actual rope connected to the crimes. But who really knows exactly what it is other than what we've seen so far. But there it is. Okay, well, it looks like we're done here, because I don't think there's anything else for us to learn here, so undo the post-cognition.
By the way, Yuma,
Oh.
did you notice the nail below the vent?
Yeah, kind of, but don't know really the significance of it, though.
Below the vent?
Yeah, those little nails making their way up. But what about it?
Huh, some of the nails are bent downward. Maybe they were hammered in a hurry.
No, that's definitely not hammered down in a hurry. I think I know what might have happened here then. Because we saw the rope that was burnt inside the incinerator from what the one servant guy was telling us at the church. It looked like a line, it looked like a ladder pretty much. And there was lines going out where it would look like a second length would be where, you know, the other arm of the ladder would be, but it didn't have that. And if he did escape via, you know, some kind of ladder, that might be our answer there, although I don't see any markings on the nails there. But interesting, though. Very, very interesting.
Perhaps there's another reason.
So that rope must have been used as a ladder in both cases. Although, obviously, he would have burnt both of the ropes, though, obviously. Unless it was the same rope, but I doubt it on that one.
Another reason?
Yeah, I think definitely climbed up from there. So they did escape through the vents. Okay. So that doesn't mean that they were a tall person, then. Since now we know for sure that, one, they didn't need to be buff enough to pick themselves up, and two, well, they didn't need to be tall enough because they could have used a ladder. Okay. But it was someone skinny-ish, though, from the fact that the vent is small. Some of the nails beneath the vent are bent downwards, nails beneath the vent in the secret club. Okay.
I think that's about it.
I think I've checked what I can here. I think so as well. Let's talk to her one last time. Oh.
I was wondering,
Yeah, I was wondering.
if fortes are so effective in investigations, can't they be used to commit crimes as well?
I would think so.
For example, let's say someone has telekinesis. Wouldn't they be able to easily create a locked room mystery?
That would be a good question.
Of course, it would be possible to abuse master detective powers. It's all a matter of how you use them.
Which does make a lot of sense. But we don't know, you know, if the person had telekinesis. I highly doubt that, though.
Some master detectives have turned to crime in the past.
Really, though. That's kind of interesting.
But as far as incidents in Kanai Ward, you won't have to worry about that possibility.
Because there is no master detectives other than Yakou, and he's not a master detective, he's just a normal detective. Because he doesn't have the power. So, yeah, we don't need to worry about that.
And why is that?
Well, Yuma, you know that answer.
The entire city is closed off. There are no master detectives here, besides us.
Which is 100%. Although you said you had your power before you became a detective, though. So technically, they could, although it wouldn't be to the sense that, you know, how it is now.
Ah, so because there's no way for more master detectives to sneak in, they can't use their abilities to commit crimes.
Apparently.
You must assume that there is no such thing as a truly impossible crime, and interpret the case accordingly.
which makes sense.
This line of thinking will be necessary for the investigation we're undertaking.
Okay.
That's very educational.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is. Okay. I think we're definitely good to end the investigation here for our very first one. There it is, finished.
That should do it. There isn't much else to investigate.
Yeah, there really isn't much left here. Definitely a lot of things to learn, though. And I think I might have learned how the rope was used at the clock tower. But, other than that, it's not much. But interesting, though, nonetheless.
I've never experienced this before, but it's surprisingly convenient to be able to share my post-cognition.
You seem pretty happy about that, too. Well, at least we changed your mind on how you feel about us, I think.
It's exhausting to explain what I see to a client.
Fair enough.
Really?
I would definitely see that, honestly. Because they can't see your abilities, so you kind of have to really sit them down and fully explain everything.
People do not believe what they cannot see. I have often been called a liar.
Yeah, I would definitely see that as a problem.
I suppose fortes aren't always convenient.
Yeah, it definitely seems like there's definitely things that go against the forte to make it where, well, they're not useful sometimes.
We still have locked room mysteries to examine. The second incident was at the mansion near Yuma District.
Yep, Yuma District indeed.
I have an idea of where to go. Let's hurry there.
Okay, off to the Ginma District then. The only thing is after that we need to go to the art gallery. Dragon Palace, a popular meat bun shop. Oh, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But 500 yen a piece, so that can kind of help us figure out how much 5.5 million yen is. Interesting. Okay, definitely a lot more than 500. That's for sure. But, so 500 for a meat bun.
Through Yuma District. Let's hurry there.
Okay, let's hurry there indeed. Only thing is exactly where on the map do we need to go? Okay, well it doesn't look like, well, basically we could just head to where we've been, so let's just teleport there since we have the ability to do so. It would definitely make things easier, so let's travel by bus right to the Ginma District. Instead of walking all the way there, there's no reason not to make availability of our abilities that we have. So, let's make sure to definitely use them when we can. But good that we now know for sure about our forte. Would that be updated in our profile? That's something I'm curious about. Because if it is indeed our ability, it would definitely do update in profile, right? And then it would confirm that it is not indeed, Shinigami's ability that gave us that. Oh, no, it didn't update. Really? Okay, then. That's strange. So, then didn't... Okay, so it is putting it under hers. Okay, so that's not our ability, it's hers. But with a question mark, though, so... It may indeed be ours, then. With the fact that it does have a question mark. Okay, interesting. Very, very interesting. But, where on the map do we need to go, exactly? Looks like we need to go across the street, and then go from there. Okay. Seems easy enough. No cars here. Oh, there's a car. We'll just wait for the road to let us through, and then make our way to the left, and then follow the road to where we need to go. Pretty cool little hover umbrellas, honestly. I will have to say that. But, I mentioned that before, but it's still pretty cool, though. Also, apparently, somebody over here we can talk to. Oh no, it's a construction site.
Oh!
Seems like they're restoring the building.
I get it.
It rains 24/7. No wonder this place is a wreck.
I guess so. What about you, though? Sounds like someone punched a peacekeeper at the clock tower. Oh, yep, someone definitely did. Dang, what an idiot. Right. They're talking about us.
Why do you look so guilty, Master?
It wasn't us, it was Halara, but... Well, we do have a lot to be, guilty of, because it was our fault that they did get punched, to be fair. But a mansion located in the high-class residential district on Montclair Street. Montclair Street, you say? So we are heading to somewhere new. Although, what are we going to find at the mansion is the real question. Since it is a whole new place we've never been to. Kinda curious if we'll find requests in places that we unlock too. But yep, here we are. Somewhere new. There's a peacekeeper here. Nothing to see here. Why is there nothing to see? Why would you even be here? It's interesting. Hello there, sir. My house is so big I just can't keep it clean. Should I hire another housekeeper?
Look at Mr. Moneybags. I wonder if I should haunt him.
Huh? You can haunt other people than me.
You're such an idiot, Master. You're not going to stop me. Like I have to go hunt someone else.
Well, we did sign a pact, to be fair, so... Oh, hello. You might be a request then. That person.
What's wrong, Master?
Doesn't she seem a bit uneasy? Like she might fall over at any moment.
Come on.
You really can't help yourself when it comes to ladies, can't you?
It isn't like that. Hello? You okay there, lady? Excuse me, is something wrong? You seem upset. Huh? Who are you? I'm kind of a detective.
In training.
A detective, I see.
Well?
So is something wrong? Well, actually, I've run away from home, and I'm at a loss about what to do next.
Oh, this smells like a case. Let's hear him out, Master.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right. I should avoid getting involved, but I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I just left it alone.
Well?
Could you give me some more details? Well, I'm the daughter of a merchant who does business throughout the Kanai Ward. Due to family circumstances, it was decided that I would have an arranged marriage. Really? Thinking of what's best for my family, I should accept the proposal. But my suitor is an awful person. I heard it with my own ears. He said he was only using my father. That definitely sounds like what happens in arranged marriage cases, so yep, I can see that happening. Huh? Then why not talk to your father about it? There's nothing I can do without proof. Besides, my father is very keen on him. When I told my father I didn't want to get married, he yelled at me and said I shouldn't cause trouble.
I see.
So that's why you ran away from home.
How lame. Let's get out of here.
No.
We can't do that. Having to marry an evil man sounds terrible. Definitely does. Leaving home has given me some time to think. I want to try talking to my father. But if I went back now, I don't think we could have a civil conversation. I'm terribly sorry to ask, but could you take this letter to my father for me? I'll reward you for the trouble.
Does this chick think detectives are like errand boys?
We can do it, I guess. We can't just leave her like this.
That's my master, sending over every woman he meets and makes their wishes come true.
Huh. It's not like that, though.
Alright.
Okay, I'll help you. Yeah, we could try and help. Thank you so much. My father should be at the front of Kanai Station around now.
It'd be a good idea to ask what he looks like, right? That station is pretty busy after all.
That's true.
That is actually true, and Yuma got me for that one. What exactly does your father look like? He should be wearing a suit navy blue from head to toe. It's his favorite. I see. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Paired with the devil. Well, it definitely sounds that way. Well, with the fact that we do have a Kanai Station thing, let's definitely head on over there then, and see what's going on with that. Since, let's be honest here, it's definitely worth looking into, since, well, we can't do requests after a chapter is over. So, let's definitely go about and make sure we solve it before we continue so we don't lose access to it. We do have access to all the different, gumshoe gabs, though, outside of chapters, which is good, because it's on the main starting screen, so we don't have to worry about losing that kind of information. But let's see here. Don't see anybody, but that doesn't mean that they're not here. But they could. It did say he's in all blue. That's definitely not him. He's not wearing a suit. So it's gotta be this guy over here then. So let's go and look for him. Because, well, let's be honest here. We are definitely trying to figure out more about this request here. Although I'm not really sure if I'll... Oh, yeah, you are wearing a blue suit. Hello there. You look like a police officer. This is Kanai Station, but trains really don't come that often. It's like this all the time. Hardly anyone comes through here, so it's real quiet.
Since Kanai Ward's been isolated, no one's coming or going except for you, Master.
I never imagined it would be like this. Also, I'm not seeing the request anywhere around here, so it's not him. Although, definitely not you either, so he's kind of hiding around here then. So we just need to look for people with umbrellas and keep an eye out for somebody in blue. Although, so far, nobody meets the description of who we're looking for. We have a bench here, although nobody there.
Oh, that's one stylish bench. I bet nobody sits on it because of the rain, though.
You know,
I can see that, but that person over there and that couple over there sitting on a bench. It's a shame since you can't just about see. You could just be able to see the whole city from here. And it's a pretty nice bench. But yeah, definitely, because of the fact that it's, with the rain, you definitely wouldn't be able to do much there. Although I'm not really seeing the request around here, though. Weird. That is strange. Is there a reason, or can I station interior? Oh, they're in there. Okay. Didn't know there was an interior. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. I was thinking that, the reason we didn't see him was because we needed to find him. Okay, now that makes a little bit more sense on why I couldn't find him. Okay, so we need to head inside then, and go to the interior. Then he should be somewhere around here. And based on the fact that it's pretty busy, it could make things a little bit harder when it comes to trying to find him. But honestly, well, maybe it'll be easy to find him, you never know. Looks like he's right over here though. Yep, there he is. Blue suit. A completely navy blue suit. Could this be the merchant be the merchant girl's father? Is the man with him the client's suitor?
Oh, I bet he is. He even looks evil.
no.
But we can't just tell from just appearances. Anyway, let's try talking with him. It's worth a shot, honestly. Excuse me. Who are you? That must be, yep, the suitor. Okay. Interesting. If you don't mind, we're in the middle of an important conversation. I have a letter for you from your daughter. What did you say? You know my daughter's whereabouts. Looks like the suitor's not happy about that. Yes, but would you please read the letter first? You're not actually listening to this guy, are you, sir? I'll see for myself. Okay. Let's see. This is without a doubt her handwriting. There must be some kind of mistake. I would never mistake my daughter's handwriting. I'm afraid that if what was written here is true, this marriage cannot be allowed to continue. Huh. Looks like the daughter would have done good here then, if the letter was just enough. Hug. And I almost got away with it too. Except for those meddling kids getting in your way.
Oh, he's not even trying to hide it. He sounds like some second-rate cartoon villain.
You could definitely say that. No point in playing pretend anymore. A scam's over the moment they start to doubt ya. Really? Later, chumps. Okay, well, see you later, buddy. Hey, wait. There's no need to follow him. There really isn't. Thank you for delivering the letter, though.
No.
It was nothing. I'll try talking to my daughter. Allow me to properly thank you another day. Sure.
For now.
Let's go report to the client, though. Yeah, definitely time to head back to our client back in our little fancy Montclair district streets. Although, honestly, interesting little side story there. Just because it seemed pretty easy compared to what I thought it was going to be. Since I thought a letter wouldn't be enough with the fact that he wouldn't listen to her. But it seemed like he listened to her letter immediately.
And that's what
But
happened.
there she is. I don't think you'll have to worry about the arranged marriage anymore. Really? And my father actually believed me. Apparently so. I think I'll go home now. Thank you so much for everything. No problem. Well, off she goes. I hope it goes well.
Well,
We did our parts, so who cares what happens next?
No.
We're involved now, so I'd like her to be happy.
We get it. That must be the way of the simp.
I don't know why she keeps saying we're a simp for just helping people, but okay. Why do you keep calling me that? I don't even know if she knows what that means, to be fair. Paired with the devil for sure is definitely complete. We got 100 points for it too, so we got a free level. Always good to make sure to do those, since 100 points is 100 points, to be fair. But, honestly, I think it's time to get into our mansion here. So, let's head on in then, and see what's going on.
There's a large mansion beyond the gate over there. I wonder if that's the second crime scene.
Must be.
That's probably it. Let's go inside.
Although the peacekeeper over there I don't think is gonna let us on in, unless he's not paying attention. He seems locked.
As expected.
Yep. Well, that's not good. Well, that's another way to get in.
Are you sure?
Huh. No warrant needed, I guess. Inside we go then.
Wait!
It's like Shinigami's reaction to everything. If you just watch her, she has some pretty funny reactions. Because it's not like verbally shown all the time. But if you're actually watching her, you'll see
It
it.
looks like a haunted mansion.
You could definitely say it looks haunted for sure, but I think we'll be fine.
I hope there aren't any ghosts around. I have a feeling they'll appear this time.
That would be kind of creepy. I hope not, honestly.
I've been meaning to ask, but aren't you kind of a ghost yourself?
Yeah, aren't you, Shinigami?
The incident occurred about 3 months ago. The victim was Ali Hoen, the owner of this mansion.
It looks like Halara just shrugged that one off. She does kind of act like a ghost sometimes, though, with how she just doesn't talk sometimes to us. But, she seems to have her reasons.
He had no family and lived alone. The mansion is now empty and dilapidated.
That would make sense.
The crime scene is in the study near the back. Let's go.
Oh, so like Clue. Was he killed with the candlestick in the study? By, Colonel Mustard? Who knows, but honestly, only one way to find out. Although I didn't want to head directly in, though.
Factor, besides the locked room.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But why I said I didn't want to head right in was because maybe there could have been one of those, little statues for being able to get another conversation around here. Not sure, but there could have been. But, yeah, it definitely seems to be a common factor is the locked rooms.
The first person to find the body was always the same person.
Yep, the worshipper of the church, which he told us exactly that he was the first one.
That worshipper from church? Do you suspect him too?
He would be a good person to suspect. Although, if they did hide inside the vent, it can't be him because he can't be two people at the same time. So, he might be easy to rule out then, honestly, even though I call him creepy. But I think he actually has a good alibi because of that.
What he said did make sense.
It did. Definitely did.
He's been obsessed with the Nailman, and had access to the names of potential victims.
Which is true.
It's not too surprising for him to be the first on the scene each time.
Which makes sense, since he kept checking the tree in case anything did end up happening. And, well, he eventually did find something happened.
I guess I shouldn't assume things going into this.
Yeah, there isn't any use in assuming things, for sure.
That's right.
Well, in we go then. This is a pretty creepy place with all the spider webs. That's for sure.
It's down this hallway. The crime scene is in the room on the right side.
Room on the right, you say?
There's
Okay.
little time. Let's head straight there.
Okay, well, let's head straight there then, indeed.
Just because you held hands with my master.
Well, we did pay her to help us out here, so there's more to it, Shinigami.
I'll have you know, Master and I are connected on a much deeper level.
Not really, but if you say so.
Don't make it sound so suggestive.
She makes everything sound suggestive, buddy. It's not a first. Plus, she can't hear her, so honestly, it doesn't really affect anything. What's up there? I'm kind of curious. Can we look more around this place instead of going straight in there? The sofa in the lobby. Who's it intended for?
It's probably just a status symbol, right?
Maybe. Kind of curious if we can go up the stairs, though. Just curious about that, because we are looking for things for those little orbs. I didn't get the chance to look around if there was one out there. Oh, not gonna read that, because I didn't mean to actually leave the place. I was just seeing if it would work. Interesting painting. Kind of curious about it.
The owner's not here anymore, and they're just a bunch just hanging around. Snatch one and sell it.
I'm a detective, not a thief. Well, we could be a phantom thief, which is a detective and a thief.
Jump scares coming up.
You're the one that wants to stay away from ghosts, so I'm surprised you're trying to jump scare us.
So this
There's
is
the
the
study.
where the crime took place.
Apparently so.
Oh, it's open. I wonder if the lock was broken at the time of discovery here, too.
That's a good question, honestly. Seems like all the locks were busted.
There's nothing left here
Ooh,
either.
aquarium.
It's all cleaned up.
Who's taking care of the fish, though? If this place is dilapidated.
I don't want to do it, but I suppose I can share my post-cognition again here.
Oh, actually, maybe it doesn't need to have a person here to take care of it. Because the thing is it seems like all the buildings are always on, no matter what. So, the power doesn't go out in some places. But, it could be a self-sufficient tank. And that is actually a thing. So, it could, the fish could feed themselves, and vice versa. So, it's possible. I think it's a self-sufficient tank, then. That is a good question, though, but I do think it is what I just said. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Unless Yuma says something about it, then it would be a good question. There's also a projector up on top of the bookcase over there. Not sure if that's important, but it's definitely in the middle of the bookcase, which is weird. Huh.
Are you sure?
Apparently, yeah.
Don't make a big deal out of it. Just make it quick.
Okay, make it quick indeed. Let's see, your investigation number 3 for the Nailman murders. The only thing is what do we have here? We got some hallway stuff, we got some fish tank. It looks like the fish tank actually can be looked at. Kind of curious if what we have to say about it. Let's see.
It's true.
There are fish in the tank. It doesn't seem like they've been cared for since the owner was killed. They're looking pretty bad. Inside the tank, some kind of secret passage?
Yeah.
Would be interesting. It doesn't appear to be related to the case, though.
Huh. Secret passage, you say? Interesting. Oh, the projector is something to look at.
That's right.
There's a projector installed in the center of the bookcase. I'd like to take a look, but I can't reach it.
That's right.
Halara, could you please take a look around the projector?
Very well.
Sure. Give me a moment. The projector is pretty dusty. Doesn't seem to have been used since before the incident.
So it's probably got nothing to do with the case then. Apparently not. But, oh, there's actually some other stuff here. There's a switch and a lamp. What about the switch? Ooh. Okay, you don't need to touch it to turn it on. Interesting. What about the lamp, though? Does that have anything? It's a lamp. The lights are on right now.
Say,
Make sure to use proper lighting in addition to these kinds of lighting, as eye strain may occur.
Who are you even talking to, Shinigami? To us? She likes to break the fourth wall. Quite a decent amount. But let's definitely post-cognition here. See what's going on for the past.
The crime scene of the murder is vividly brought to life before us.
Yep. This power is pretty crazy, but definitely cool, though.
It all happens in silence, as though awakening from an eternal slumber.
Nice jacket, honestly, buddy. Although he has, marks like he was, dragged along the ground while he was still alive. Huh. That's kind of creepy.
But the corpse will never wake up again.
That's indeed correct.
Even if the corpse did awaken, the nails pinning him down would prevent him from rising.
Which is true, yeah.
The door is the only entrance and exit to the room.
Seemingly.
There are no windows windows and the vent is small. I don't see any escape routes from the locked room.
Really don't, but there might be something.
Maybe the doll nailed to the wall holds the answer to this bizarre mystery.
Maybe. Although, with the projector turning on, that might be the case. What about the switch in the post-cognition world? Can I select it? Looks like no. That's weird. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. The lamp's light is pointed to the table. It probably wasn't turned on at the time.
I don't see anything suspicious. Doesn't seem like the lamp is related to the case, though.
Seemingly not. What about the switch, though? There's a switch for the projector on the desk. Looks like it was set to off when the corpse was found. Okay. Nails everywhere around here. Fish tank looks empty in the past. Although she can't see living things, to be fair, in the past cognition. There's a huge tank here, but there aren't any fish inside.
Living things can't be seen through post-cognition. It doesn't have that ability.
Yep, you were telling us that. And then what about the projector itself? The projector is installed in the center of the bookcase. It wasn't on when the corpse was found, though. Seemingly not.
You'll never reach it, Master. I'll check it out for you, though.
Well, did you find anything unusual?
No, everything is exactly unusual and unrelated to the case.
Okay, well that's good information. Looks like we're done with the post-cognition world here. And let's see what's going about the door here. Yep, let's definitely check every nook and cranny for sure. We got a vent up here. Interesting. That's an interesting vent.
But it's too small for a person to fit through.
True. Although there is screws on it, like the other one.
And it's also screwed shut from the inside. It seems impossible to remove.
Well, if we look in the post-cognition world and there's no screws on that thing, it's 100% via the anything that could have been screwed down is how he got out, I think. I think that would confirm that. But, I don't know, it could be removed.
What's this now?
What's what?
Master, I discovered something. There are marks in the gap between the fence, like something scraped against it.
Oh, like the nails on the dolls in the clock tower.
Really?
That's interesting.
Given your height, you couldn't see it even if you stood on a chair.
Fair enough.
Halara, can you use that chair to peek into the vent?
Yeah, can you see anything going on there?
I will do so for 10,000 Xian.
10,000?
You're charging me for it?
Why are you charging me for that one?
I jest.
Oh, I was about to say. I kind of believed it for a second.
The marks in the vent seem to be left by strings rubbing against it.
Strings? So maybe the rope wasn't a rope, but a really tough string. That's weird. Huh, okay.
Did someone hitch a string to it or something?
Apparently so.
It shouldn't even be visible from your perspective. I'm surprised you noticed.
Special ability that you don't know about, maybe. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it was just a hunch.
Yep, definitely doesn't sound suspicious.
See? I told you I'm useful. I do way more than just float around.
Which is true, you definitely do help quite a bit, although you are a little crazy sometimes.
You should give me 10,000 Xian as a reward.
No, definitely not. Plus you wouldn't be able to spend it.
I'm kidding, a headache.
Poor Yuma. But there we go, we got another solution key. The vent is too small for a person to enter or exit from. There's evidence that a string is something similar was scraped against the gap in it. Interesting. What about the door, though?
This is...
The door to the study, we left it open just in case.
It's always good to be wary of sudden attacks. Never let your guard down.
Right, got it.
It's because of teaching of yours truly. You're welcome, Master.
Say so. Anything else to note? Looks like a no. So just these two things here. Let's go into the post-cognition world. The vent isn't needed anymore, it looks like. But we do have the door. So, what happened to the door?
The door here can only be locked with a key. However, there is only the master key. No spares exist.
Another master key, you say? Really?
The scenario resembles the locked room mystery in the casino. We can disregard the possibility of a duplicate key.
Makes sense.
The master key was found in this room at the time of discovery.
Really? Where is it?
This is also similar to the locked room mystery in the secret club.
It definitely seems that way.
But there is one difference. The key was found underneath the corpse.
Underneath the corpse, you say? So maybe that's how the rope was used here, maybe. Although I'm not exactly sure on how you can pull the key, or put the key back in there. Unless the rope was really, stringy, I guess, but, interesting.
Under the corpse? But we can't move the corpse in the past, so we can't confirm if that's true.
We really can't.
Postcognition isn't all-powerful, but it's a fact that the key was found under the corpse.
Which is true.
I have a crime scene photo, taken back then, in my jacket pocket.
That's good.
No detail has slipped past my efforts.
Okay, cool information. Thanks, Halara.
Right.
That is good information to know, though. A cat?
Huh? What's this?
Good question.
Wait, not that one. I meant the other photo. This one's unrelated to the case.
Well, it doesn't look like you hate all living things, then, if you have a cat in your pocket. But interesting, though.
Oh, this is it. You're right. The key's near the middle of his back.
That is kind of weird.
But can this photo be trusted? Could it be something the peacekeepers fabricated?
Maybe, but I don't know. Halara seems pretty confident on it.
The peacekeepers acknowledged the incident occurred in a locked room. Besides, there's no need for fabrication.
Which is fair.
After all, it would be more convenient for them to have fewer mysteries to deal with.
Fair enough, yeah. That's true.
That's true. Sorry for being doubtful.
Plus, they're pretty lazy, so there's no real reason for them to fabricate it.
No, that's expected of a detective. You're starting to figure out how to do your job.
Thanks, Halara. Although, you're still charging me way too much for this case.
Was that a compliment?
Kind of.
Is that really all it takes to please you?
I guess so.
Also, I drew a sketch of the room's state on the back of that photo.
You did? Interesting. Although, why did you do that? Okay, I'll remember it. Interesting. What's the thing with the circle? That's interesting. So over by the foot, there's something going on over there that she wants us to acknowledge.
But why a sketch? How can it help solve the mystery?
There might be a lot of information here, but something specifically on that wall, where the projector is, which is probably the doll that's on the wall there, actually.
Also, what was with that cat photo anyway? That's surprisingly cute.
I don't think she's going to tell you, buddy. But the key to the mansion study, there are no copies of the master key, door to the key to the study, as well as the floor plan of the study, the mansion's floor plan, and a photo of the locked room mystery, both received from Halara. Okay. Interesting information, but good information nonetheless. Kind of curious about the painting now, honestly. Wait, where's... Oh yeah, the doll's in the post-cognition world. I'm kind of curious about that real quick. That's what I really want to look into. So, painting, bookshelf, and stacked books. Other than that, nothing else. So, it looks like, let's go based on the foot, though. Because it looks like it was on the hallway area here. Okay. Go in the post-cognition world, I need to see that. Because she marked that for a reason. Oh, here it is. The doll on the wall, and then the bookshelf near the hallway.
Yeah.
Even in the past, several books lined the shelf. I checked, but it doesn't seem like anything different between then and now.
I see.
In that case, it's probably not related to the case.
Apparently not. What about the doll on the wall, though? That's a good thing to look into. It's creepy.
There's only one doll nailed to the wall.
It's got a really creepy smile, too.
Comparatively, there was a nearly obnoxious number of dolls nailed to the walls in the other crime scenes.
Yep. Although, why only just one?
Maybe there was no room to nail them to the walls, because of all the bookshelves in the way?
Maybe.
Wait, this doll has both eyes gouged out.
Which is extremely creepy.
Did the culprit do this on purpose? This keeps getting more and more disturbing.
It definitely does.
But it's kinda creepy cute. I want to put one next to the top of a staircase so people can run into it at night.
Really? That seems like something you would definitely do, Shinigami.
Why would you want to do that?
Because she's evil sometimes.
You know, this doll seems made of cheaper materials compared to the other ones.
Cheaper materials, you say?
Hey, you're right. Like it's made of resin instead of porcelain.
That's weird. Why is that?
The texture looks cheap, but also more durable.
Really? That's strange.
Too bad it doesn't have eyeballs.
Yeah, too bad indeed.
The eye holes are connected to each other in the head cavity.
Seemingly, yeah.
It's like that darkness is staring into me.
Yeah, you could say that again.
There's a mark on the edge of the eye holes near the nose. Looks like a string rubbed against it.
Oh yeah, it does look like that.
How did this mark get here?
Maybe that's what the string attached to the door or the vent near the door was attached to? Although, why is the real question. Huh. Dolls with the eyes gouged out. This doll is made of resin, not porcelain. It looks like a thin string rubbed against the inner corners of the eyes. Weird. Very weird. But out of the post-cognition and into the real world. Nothing really of note outside of the bookshelf here. So let's see what's going on with the bookshelf. All these books are lined up so neatly.
They're covered in dust. Nobody's touched them for a long time.
Meaning they won't help us with this case. Yep, definitely not. Let's back out of that. And we got two other places we can look at, and we can also talk to Halara. Let's talk to Halara
Halara's
first.
hands are smaller and softer than I thought.
Why are you noticing that now?
Considering Halara's strength, I thought they would be bulkier.
Yeah, I guess so, but there's a lot of strong people with small hands, to be fair.
Master, is holding hands all it takes to get you hot and heavy? You're making me sad.
I'm sorry, Shinigami. But, I don't think he's in love with her either, to be fair.
No.
He does seem embarrassed by that, though.
Though I am curious, is Halara a man or a woman?
Well, I said this before, they're probably a they. If anything, if that's a thing that was brought up to begin with.
What's wrong? Is something bothering you?
Nothing really, honestly.
Not at all.
But Yuma is definitely bothered by something.
I guess it'd be pretty rude to ask now.
It would definitely be. It's a kind of a weird spot to ask. Maybe if you were at the sub, maybe, but not here. Okay, what about the painting, though? You got the painting and the bookshelf and the stack of books. Let's see what the stack of books says.
Oh!
2 extraordinarily thick books are stacked on the desk. These books are in great condition. Aside from some dust, they look completely untouched.
Beats me.
He probably wanted to seem knowledgeable.
They haven't been moved for a while. They're probably not related to the case. Yeah, probably not. What about the bookshelves by the desk, though? It's a carefully organized bookshelf. Looks like all the novels belong to the same series, the Go-In Saga.
Yeah.
I believe the series has more than 150 volumes. Unfortunately, the author has passed away.
It's a shame the story never saw an ending. 150 stories, no ending. Jeez. That's a big build-up to nothing, honestly. Jeez. What about the painting, though? Landscape paintings in extravagant frames are on display. All of these paintings look incredibly expensive.
However...
they're counterfeits. Not a single one is genuine. Doesn't look like they have anything relevant to the case here. Let's investigate elsewhere.
But why did we turn on the other thing, though, if it has nothing to do with the case here? It's cool looking, the little sky effect, but weird, though. But what about the paintings in the past? They're an expensive looking landscape painting, but it's titled, I wonder why. Could this be related to the locked room?
Appears.
Doubtful. Judging by the marks on the wall, I'd say this painting was hung at an angle. The peacekeepers must have altered it by mistake during their investigation.
How confusing. Huh, weird. What about everything else here? A series of books is arranged neatly on the shelf. There's no indication that the books were moved. I don't think they are related to the case.
I agree. Let's look somewhere else.
And then the stack of books looks like they moved slightly. Two extraordinarily thick books are placed on the desk. Doesn't look like the books were stacked when the body was found.
Well,
Oh, the peacekeepers must have stacked them. Good grief. What a bunch of amateurs.
The placement seems to be the only thing that's changed. I don't think this will help with the case. Yeah, probably not. Let's back out of that. We have one final thing in this investigation here, and then we can end our investigation for today, and then prepare for the next episode. But this is where the first witness found the body. The bloodstains are still here. Considering the amount of blood, the victim was probably killed here, right?
it appears.
It seems very likely.
It definitely seems that way. Post-cognition. Let's see what's going on here. Victim's neck has a mark as well. So, good to note that.
Cause of death
And I think I see the
appears to
key.
be strangulation as well.
Definitely seems that way.
And like the others, there are rope marks around the neck and traces of a struggle.
Seemingly.
Oh, but on a closer look,
What's that?
there's a mark left by a thin string on the back of his neck.
Which is how maybe the key got underneath him. Okay, so the eyes of the doll probably never were in there. Maybe the key was in there. The key got dragged out of the doll's eyes, slid underneath of him, and then out the vents. So he locked the door from the outside. Maybe. Okay.
It couldn't have been the rope that was used to strangle him. The thickness is completely different.
Definitely completely different.
There are two different types of string marks in the body. Was he strangled twice?
No, definitely not. That's how the key got there, I think.
But even then,
For sure.
he ought to only have marks behind his neck. And why do the strings have different thicknesses?
Because it was, seemingly broken to leave the key back there.
Anyway, it's an important piece of evidence.
It is definitely. Okay, good information. Victim's neck. There are rope marks caused by strangulation and wounds from resisting. There is also string marks on the back of the victim's neck. Okay. What about the nails on his actual nails? Nothing to note there, but we might get that when we look at him himself.
The victim is a well-built man, approximately 30 years old.
He looks more 20 to me.
The corpse here is also covered in nails. His appendages and chest are all nailed to the floor.
Definitely.
The owner of this mansion made his fortune in real estate from an early age.
What about his fingernails, though? Is what I'm really curious about.
But along with aggressive land sharking and other illicit transactions, he made shady deals with Amaterasu Corp.
So he wasn't a good person. So a legal gambler and shady business dealer. Okay. But what about the girl in the clock tower? She didn't seem like she was evil. Although we didn't get any description on her.
There are several reasons he'd be hated. A doll with his name on it was bound to be nailed in the church forest.
Which would make sense with how these cases are.
I wonder how
In the urban
person
legend.
that cursed him feels now that he's actually dead.
Huh.
Perhaps they feel no responsibility. They just hopped on the urban legend bandwagon.
Maybe.
Is that really the case?
We really don't know.
Wait, this is odd.
What is it, Yuma?
Did you find something?
Is it his fingernails? Because that's what I'm curious about.
Look closely. The length of the nails driven into the corpse.
Oh, the actual
all
length of the
slightly
nails.
different.
Don't know if that's really anything, but
The
okay.
length isn't the problem here. It's how hard they were hammered in.
Really?
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
The nails driven into the lower torso went through the body and into the floor.
That's weird.
But the nails in the upper torso did not penetrate all the way through the body.
Maybe because his ribcage, maybe? That's strange.
But why would the culprit not hammer the nails in as hard on the upper body?
That is kind of weird.
That's not the only unnatural thing. Take a look at the blood.
It's very, heavily drenching this place.
The nail wounds on the lower torso appear to be bleeding sideways.
Sideways? That is strange.
But the upper torso wounds are bleeding vertically, down toward his waist.
That is actually really weird. How did that happen?
The blood flows differently
Oh.
between the upper and lower body?
Maybe he was hanging originally at some point. And then, or maybe the blood stains on the top of the body were made first in a different place, and then the bottom ones were placed when he was here. That's weird.
Maybe the upper and lower torsos are different people, and they were smushed together after death.
Yeah, right. No,
That's disturbing.
that's definitely not it. But interesting though, sideways and vertically. The blood from the nails stuck in the lower body of the corpse seems to be flowing in different directions. But it looks like we're not going to care about the actual nails being the way they are. That's weird. Maybe that'll be something we go back to then. I'll remember that though.
Looks like there's nothing left to check.
Yeah, that's an A-OK for the investigation here.
Definitely seems that way. Let's tell her that we're done here.
Locked-room mysteries aren't uncommon among all the unsolved cases the WDO deals with.
That would make a lot of sense.
My question to you is, why do you think culprits create these locked-room mysteries?
So there's no evidence that they were there.
To make
Kinda.
it look like the victims committed suicide?
Kind of, maybe, but I don't think that's entirely the case.
Correct. By cutting the space off from the outside, the murder is made to look as if the victim killed himself.
I guess so, kind of. In this case, it's definitely somebody else doing it, though.
However, the culprit of the Nailman killings doesn't seem to care about making it appear that way.
He really doesn't.
So why make it out to be a locked-room mystery?
That is actually a real good question. Why? Why a locked-room mystery if it makes no sense?
I believe the reason lies in the mystical nature of the Nailman and how it bolsters the urban legend's legitimacy.
I guess it makes it seem more like a mystical being did it than a person.
It's locked for the sake of self-branding, making this a rather rare case.
Yeah, it definitely seems strange.
I see.
Huh.
Master, are you sure you get it?
I kinda get it.
I do.
But it is very strange, though. Okay, well I think we're done here then. Let's end the investigation. And there's our third investigation done for the Nailman case, leaving us with only one last known one being the art gallery. There were many visitors. Oh, I'm not getting to read that one. But, interesting.
Now we've gathered enough evidence. Though it appears complicated at first glance, the answer is simple.
Simple, you say?
Huh? Halara, did you already solve the locked room mystery?
Yep, from the doll, then under the guy's body, or his neck, and then through the vent was how the key got out. And
What?
then in.
You haven't?
No, Yuma definitely hasn't. But I think I get it, personally.
There's no way to solve it with what we have. How was the room locked?
Well, it was locked beforehand, and then they used the rope to... That is actually a good question. How did he lock it? That's weird.
It's unfit for one detective to ask another that question. For the sake of your own pride, you must figure it out.
Oh, he could have had another rope, to be fair. Okay, interesting though.
Unless you'd like to hire me to do it for you. It won't come cheap.
We already hired you to do this case, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll figure it out myself.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
It's really all about the money with Halara.
Yep, definitely true there,
The longer I'm
Shinigami.
with Halara, the deeper into debt I'll get. It's starting to scare me.
And I think you're never going to be able to pay her back, buddy. I'm going to be honest there.
No. Let us be swift. Next up is our last crime scene.
Yep, one final crime scene, the art gallery. Inside a storage closet, if I remember correctly. But it's a strange case, though, nonetheless. Let's make our way out of this place first, and then we'll end off today's episode, I think.
The next one
Oh,
is
yeah, the
art
broken
gallery
door.
in Yuma district. We're running low on time, so we must hurry.
Yeah, Yakou is starting to run out of time.
Right.
As well as,
She's in danger
GA.
after all.
Colon is definitely running out of time too. But off we go. And I'm gonna say this is where we're gonna end off today's episode, with Shinigami, so body going directly through Halara there. But honestly, with that being said, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. In the next episode, we will be looking more into the investigation of the Nailman, and finally figuring out the final crime connected to the Nailman, because there's 4 of them, we've already seen 3. So, with that being said, we might find any kind of information last left off with the Nailman, and then we'll maybe making our way into the mystery labyrinth very soon then. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, keep being spooky, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.